just never seen anything like it. The whole of this area is covered in moss. Just the whole area around me. It's beautiful, look at it. It's like a hill with little mounds covered in moss. Magnificent, beautiful. It's like something out of a fairy tale, actually. It's beautiful. Kind of like out of Narnia, really. I guess that's what I'm thinking. Interesting day today, and I've had a few challenges. I got quite badly lost today, and I actually was very concerned. I didn't think I'd be able to find my way back. I sat down and didn't know what to do. No signal on my phone. I couldn't work out where I was on my map, and I was lost for about an hour, and eventually I worked out how to use my expensive handheld GPS, and I found out I wasn't very far from where I was, and so stopped panicking, eventually find my way back, and so that was good. And then just a little while back I was walking around Lake, this is Ennerdale Reserve, I think remember where it is, and there was a section, I think maybe some of the rocks had fallen down, and the path was not clearly declined, and I went down this ravine, and it was very, very scary. It looked like you had to go down this almost like abseil down this little crevasse, and so I thought, surely they don't want you to do that. Okay, so no one told me about this bit here. Climb down here, so I climbed up the other side. It was a bit of a challenge with a backpack. It's a bit of a challenge, so here I go. It's very dangerous. I went down there with my backpack, and I'll show you a clip of that. And when I got to the bottom, it was even worse. I thought, no way, surely they don't want you to go down there. No way I can do this with a backpack. I just can't do it. And I thought, I'm going back. I can't believe this is the way you're supposed to go. And it was really difficult to go back with a backpack, and I was nervous, and I had visions of me spending the night stuck on this cliff edge. And so I did, and I loaded my poles in the side of my back, and I managed step by step, praying every step, getting back up this crevasse. And so it's been an adventurous day, and of course my backpack's still a bit heavy. It's been more manageable after I got rid of some of my stuff yesterday, but it's still a bit heavy. But I'm doing this walk for Olivia in honor of my mother, who is a victim of domestic abuse, and I'm doing it for people that are going through real difficulties. You know, when I decided to do this, I had fantasies, romantic fantasies about this walk being an amazing thing. And you know, you watch the videos of these things and you see the advertisements, you don't see all the problems that people go through on these walks. You see the sunshine, you see the beautiful trees, you see the things I'm seeing now, you see the highlight reels, you don't see the challenges, you don't see the blisters, you don't see the heavy backpacks, you don't see the difficulties. And you know, when I signed up for this, I didn't sign up for the hardships. You know, people that go through domestic abuse, when they go into relationships, the loving relationships, they didn't sign up for the pain, they didn't sign up for the violence, they didn't sign up for the abuse. And so I'm doing this for people that signed up for loving relationships but have found themselves in hardship, have found themselves in panic, have found themselves in horrible situations where they have need, and they're trying to escape situations where they are literally, and them and their children and their families are in horrible situations where they need help. So, you know, here's a shout out for Karen Johns and Dare that are doing their very best that need emergency help for people that are in desperate situations, that are in domestic abuse and domestic violence. And so this is a shout out, the Walk for Olivia, my mum, who is a victim of domestic abuse. And so I'm doing this and I suffer just a little bit every now and then, but I'm doing it for others. You know, there are people all over the world that are wanting to help me, and I'm doing pretty good. There's people that have helped me and give me advice, others, friends all over the world and in England that are helping me and giving me advice and practical help to help my trip. So there are people out there that will help you when you're in need. So sometimes we need to accept that help, don't we? So if you're in need and you're going through domestic abuse, reach out to someone. There are people that can help you. Okay, I got to keep going. I got a long way to go before I sleep tonight. Dave Palmer signing off. Walk for Olivia. It's just gone 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm just leaving the Ennerdale Youth Hostel, and got up just about 4:30 and got myself ready, get my bag ready, and snuck out of my room, try not to disturb the other guests. And I'm looking at the road and there's two paths. Typical. It was great staying here. It's a lovely place, lovely people. There were 4 Davids in the room, 3 Davids in the room, and so we had a bit of a laugh about that, but they were lovely people. And I'm still trying to work out which road I'm supposed to go down at the moment. I've got lost a few times. Lovely spot, try and get it in the camera. Stayed here the night, and I'm heading towards the Black Sail hut. I'm glad I didn't go there last night because I believe it's fairly basic, and I had a meal here last night. I've got absolutely no telephone signal at all, so I can't contact home, and there's no Wi-Fi here, so I hope people think I haven't dropped off the planet. I was really well and fine last night, and I was the first in bed. I'd walked 20 kilometers, but it was a fairly grueling walk, and with this heavy backpack, which is still way... Okay, here's a sign, I'll show it to you. There we are. So that you know that I am actually doing this. It's kind of like, you know, did a man actually go to the moon? Yes, he did. It wasn't all CGI screen, and I am actually walking the coast to coast. It's true, I am. And so, just in case you're wondering. What was I talking about? This time of the morning, do I know what I'm talking about? Hey, look, just so that you know, here is a beautiful stone wall here. Have a look. Look, a lovely stone wall. Look at that, lovely, it's real. It's not CGI, it's actually real. It's me here in the countryside. Okay, so, still have no idea what I'm talking about. It's early in the morning. And the oily boy catches the worm, as they say in New York. While I collect my thoughts, I'll turn this off. Lovely place for a stop. Actually, I've got a bit of a problem. I'm at a bit of a turning point here. I've got to work out which way I need to go. So I need to fire up my handheld GPS, and my batteries have died. And the only batteries I've got left are at the bottom of my backpack. And so I've had to empty out my backpack to get to my spare batteries. That's the legacy of having your batteries in the bottom of your backpack. Just left the Black Sail hut. another thing that wasn't what I expected. It's been upgraded and beautifully run. It's actually run by the same people that run the Enadale youth hostel where I spent the night, which was fantastic. Kirsty, the manager that was running that, was terrific. I had dinner there and spent the night there. Stayed in a room with 2 other guys called David, so the 3 Davids in the one room, and got in there. It was brilliant. And so I just stopped off at the Blackstale hostel, famous Blackstale hostel, the most isolated hostel in the whole of the UK. And apparently there's a 4-wheel drive that runs supplies there every now and then. So I met a lovely couple that were just there for the weekend. I think they're there. They hiked there, spent the night there, and meeting up with some friends somewhere in the region. And got to watch where I'm walking. And so it was lovely, and gave them a flyer. I told them what I was doing on the walk for Olivia, and they're going to check me out on Facebook and try to make a connection, which is lovely. I hope I get to see them inside. It's supposed to be fantastic. So I'm on my hike this morning. I think I'll end up at Honister or somewhere, I'm not sure, today. So I still have no internet connection or phone, so I can't tell anybody where I am. So possibly a few people concerned about me at the moment, but I'm absolutely fine. This is amazing. The weather's fairly good. A little bit chilly, but it's panoramically magnificent. No one else where I am at the moment. I'm not meeting too many other people that are doing the coast to coast, but totally spectacular where I am, and God is good. So I'll keep moving on. Just had a bit of an episode at the Blackstale Lodge where I accidentally knocked the toilet roll into the toilet. But
toilet here. I accidentally knocked the toilet roll into the toilet. I normally do these sorts of things. Right?
No, I offered to pay for it, but they said no, it's no problem. They didn't accept it. So here we go. Okay, so it just started to snow. That sounds very romantic, but the problem is if it snows too heavy, it'll white out and I won't see the trail. So I don't know whether you can see it, but I hope it doesn't snow too much. So, gosh, here we go. I need to press on before I lose the trail. I don't really want to stop because I've got to keep moving in the snow, but I had to show you that it is actually snowing here, whether this comes out in the film or not. But I need to move. It's very cold and I can't stop. It's slippery too, but it is actually snowing. So it's gone from what was a beautiful morning and showing promise of a lovely sunny day to snow and sleet, and now it's just bitter cold and unpleasant. And so I've just come through the Honest slate mine, and it looks like there's a visitor centre down here, and so it's about midday, so I'll probably stop and see if I can maybe get something to eat and forward on. I've lost my signal. I was on top of the mountain, so I had a momentary time of getting a phone signal. I got a message through to my wife. She's messaged me back. I don't know what, I haven't had time to check it. I just had to get through the snow because my greatest fear was that I would lose my trail and my finger, and I rushed to put my wet weather gear on, and I just got it on in time. My clothes were getting wet and there was a panic, and I got through the snow, thank heavens, and managed to get here. So I'll forward on and see what the day brings and how far I get today. And you never know in England. You get all kinds of weather in one day, and today's proof of that. So I'll head on down to the visitor centre and see what they've got on offer down there, and we'll see what happens today. It's an adventure on the walk for Olivia. Okay, so this is my pod for the night. Oops, on my head. I couldn't have waited a second longer. I needed somewhere to stay. I was in the area and I came down with a bout of gastric, and this place appeared exactly when I needed it. I couldn't have waited a moment longer. And the only room they had available was this, and there was nothing else. There was no dorm or anything. I needed a room for myself just to consider my backpack and what I'm going to do with it. And so this is perfect. Cost me a bit of money, but that's okay. You know, I've got a room to myself, and it's quaint and it's cute, and so this is great. This is just outside of, where am I? Wainwright, just outside of Wainwright, and it'll be really nice. So I got a meal organised if I can handle it for tonight. So I'll be fine. This is where I am.